Alright, real talk, if you're flying the Potensic Atom 2, you've got two controller options and they can feel like you're flying two totally different drones. The standard controller uses your phone as the screen and the other controller is called the PTD-1 and it has the screen built in. I'll show you all the real pros and cons of the two so you can choose, and by the end of this video you'll know exactly which one is a perfect fit for you. G'day friends, just so you know where I'm coming from, my name is Brett and I fly and film with drones constantly in my business. And I've used the Atom 2 in the exact situations you'll be in: sunny days, windy days, quick trips, the lot. And here's the system I'll be using to compare the two controllers. I've called it Choice because my goal is to make your choice of controllers easier. Okay, first up, C stands for Comfort and Controls. How do the two controllers actually feel in your hands? Well, the standard controller is pretty much the same weight as the controller with the screen until you add the phone, then it's obviously a bit heavier. And depending on your phone size, it either feels fine or it feels like you've just bolted a little TV on top of your drone controller. The rubber on the grip of the standard controller is much grippier, it's a nicer rubber, but both controllers are very comfortable in your hand. The bonus of the standard controller is you can extend it out to 7 inches wide, which means if you have a large phone or a very small tablet, you can have a larger screen when you're flying your drone. The PTD-1 controller has a 5.5 inch built-in screen, but it can feel more balanced as one unit. So if you like to use a larger screen, go for the standard controller. And if you hate phone mounting, use the PTD-1. Next up, we have H, which stands for hookup time. And this matters more than people think because it decides sometimes whether you grab that extra shot or you can't be bothered setting it all up again. Now with the standard controller, there's obviously more steps involved because you've got to power on the phone, you've got to connect the phone and then open the app like normal. And then of course you've got to get it all talking to each other as well. So the time from the power up of your phone to the app being open is what you see here for the standard controller. Whereas the PTD-1 controller is more like your power on and you're ready to go. And as you can see here, it was faster, but not by a huge amount. And if you pack everything away every flight like I do, the controller with the screen usually feels faster. But if you have the other controller and you like to leave your phone mounted on it, the pack up time is exactly the same. But just keep in mind that if you leave the phone on the standard controller, it won't fit in the bag that way. As you'll most likely have the Potensic bag that comes with the drone, you'll be happy to know that each controller fits in that bag slot easily, as long as you haven't got the phone connected to the standard controller, for instance. Now on a different note, if you're just starting out with flying your drone, then you should grab my free ebook, 49 Drone Tips for Beginners. It's full of great tips to help you fly better. The link will be in the description and below as always. Next up, we're up to O, which is outdoor visibility. Now screens outside can be totally fine or completely unusable, depends on the day. The PTD-1 gives you a consistent screen without relying on your phone brightness or overheating or dimming. The screen on the PTD-1 controller is 700 nits, which is basically the measurement of luminance of a display. But if you've already got a really bright phone, and most modern phones are somewhere between 2000 and 3000 nits, you might find your phone will look better in the harsh sun. But I've found through use of many drones, some with screens and some without, that harsh sun makes it hard to see any screen. I usually launch from a shaded area if possible, and in both cases, the screens on both of these controllers is fine. The one annoying thing you will find using a phone is you'll have to turn off the automatic dimming or adaptive screen to keep this consistent, which will drain your battery on your phone, and it will also increase setup time if you don't want to leave it like that all the time. Okay, the I stands for input, so let's talk about controls. The PTD-1 feels more beginner friendly, less messing around, easier setup. Standard controller feels familiar because you're using your phone, and that can be faster if you're used to it. But the app on your phone, which is called Potensic Eve, is the same interface on the screen with the controller. Things like screen recording or screen settings are accessed by swiping down from the top of your screen, just like as if you were using your phone. But there is a slight difference between the two controllers when it comes to the buttons. Both controllers have a C1 and C2 buttons, which you can customize to various options in the interface or the app. The only difference is that the standard controller uses one button for photo and video, and the PTD-1 controller has a dedicated button for photos and a dedicated button for video. C stands for carry and charging, and here's the trade-off in one sentence. The standard controller is more gear to carry around, and the PTD-1 controller is not phone dependent, so it's less gear. So for instance, if you forget your phone, you can still fly your drone. With the standard controller, you're most likely already carrying your phone, so technically it's not more gear, but if you use an old phone like I do, it's more gear to carry and charge. And I can't tell you how many times I've gotten to a job with one of my drones and drone batteries are charged and the controller is charged, but because I've been on the phone all day, I've nearly drained the phone battery, or I've forgotten to charge it in the first place. In this case, the controller with the screen works better for me because it's just charge the controller, charge the batteries for the drone, and you're good to go. E stands for edge cases or real world annoyances. And this part's often overlooked by using the phone setup. You can and will be interrupted by calls, notifications, random dimming, cables being loose or not connected properly, phone shifting in the mount holder as well. But the controller with the screen avoids all of that. The only notification you get is for updates of the firmware or the app, which you'll get on the controller with the phone setup as well anyway. The PTD-1 controller already has a 32GB built-in storage, and it also has micro SD card slot if you need more storage for your photos, videos, and screen recordings. Okay, the easiest way to decide is this. Pick the standard controller if you want to keep costs down. You already have a bright phone you can use. You want a larger screen. You're happy and familiar with your phone. And pick the PTD-1 controller, which is the controller with the screen, if you want faster setup, no phone mounts or cables, consistent screen outdoors, convenience if you fly often, extra storage if you need it as well. The choice really is yours depending on what your needs are. I've said in previous videos that the standard controller for this drone is the best phone controller I've ever used on any drone, and I still think that. It's comfortable, has all the functions you need, and it will take a large screen. But I love the PTD-1 controller. It's one less thing to worry about when you're setting up and traveling especially. It has additional storage and it works and looks great. Now, having a good controller is one of the pieces of the puzzle. Now, having a good controller is one of the pieces of the puzzle. Being able to get great footage from your drone is another. If you want to instantly level up your footage, click the video on the screen, 6 tips on how to get good drone footage from any drone. Thanks for watching.